Greetings. Good afternoon. We're having some amazing weather today. Yesterday we had I don't know, it was 27 degrees.
Incredible.
Incredible weather.
Yeah.
Today's very nice. We're just enjoying it. We have our off day in the clinic here, but we wanted to share a very serious video with you because there's a lot of people just taking so many medications in North America, and I don't think they give it proper consideration before they actually start taking this type of therapy. So there are two main things. So if you're taking medication now or you're planning to, there are two main things you have to consider. One is NNT, which stands for number needed to treat, and NNH, which stands for number needed to harm. Hey, I'm Dr. Casey.
And for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Morgan. Of course, with every medication that you get, it comes with a folded insert, and it is really important that you're reading that in detail and knowing what you're putting in your body and what to look out for, because obviously an educated decision is going to be far better than an ignorant one. But just like Dr. Casey said, there's those other two factors that we need to consider when outweighing the benefit cost effect on your overall health.
Right, and so NNT is the number needed to treat. What that means is it's the average number of people that need to be taking a particular medication before just one person experiences some level of benefit from taking that medication. So for example, if it takes 10 people to take a particular medication before one person experiences benefit from taking that medication, then the number needed to treat for that medication is 10. And obviously, the lower the number for the number needed to treat, the better. But I know some of you that are going to watch this video may be confused because some people assume that, if a drug company says the drug does a certain thing, then obviously it does that thing for everyone. But unfortunately, that's just not the way it works, and it's simply not true, right?
Yeah, and when we look at it, we also need to look at the number needed to harm, so the NNH of a medication. So that's really a measure of how many people need to be treated before one person has an adverse reaction. So for example, if 7 people are taking the medication before one person has an adverse reaction, the NNH is then 7. The number needed to harm would be 7. So the higher the number for NNH, the better, and the lower the number for number needed to treat, the better.
Right, and so this video is designed to illustrate to you that there are a lot of people, like a lot of these drugs, more people are harmed by the drug than actually helped. But one thing is for sure, way more people experience zero benefit from taking a particular medication than those that do.
Yeah.
So in a previous video on our page here, we discussed the drug Lyrica, right? And so Lyrica is an anticonvulsant drug primarily taken by people who are trying to fight and battle seizures. But it's also a drug that's prescribed to people who experience chronic pain associated with the condition of fibromyalgia. And Dr. Arnold published in Cochrane Clinicians that the number needed to treat for pregabalin, which is the generic name for Lyrica, the number needed to treat is actually 10. So that means 10 people need to be taking this drug before one person experiences some level of benefit, in which case it's a 50% reduction in pain symptoms. So even though one person's benefiting, they're still in pain, like they're still dealing with the symptoms.
Only 50%.
Right, only 50%. And so if you take, so typically Lyrica is taken at 2 pills a day over a 12-week period. So 10 people need to do that before one person gets some benefit. And so for one person, that's 168 pills. But you multiply that by 10, that's 1,680 pills that are being taken with zero benefit. And again, that one person's only getting limited benefit, so they're still in pain. So I'm not really seeing too much benefit for all of these people taking these pills. The only ones that I actually see benefiting here are the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, and then we talk about the number needed to harm for Lyrica is
Right.
11. So for each 11 people taking the medication, one person is experiencing adverse reactions or being harmed. So it really isn't surprising that so many people are not happy with Lyrica. And if you actually look at our conversations under a lot of the other videos that we've made, people have shared their personal experience with Lyrica, especially the videos we've mentioned it in. And they're just not happy with the results because of the side effects and the adverse reactions.
Right. So that's Lyrica. We have other patients that come to our clinic in chronic pain who don't have fibromyalgia. But many of these people that come into our clinic they're in chronic pain, but they also mentioned that they're taking statin medications.
Now, statin medications aim at the enzyme that's part of the cholesterol production pathway. So it's designed to decrease your cholesterol. So for a lot of people, if you have high cholesterol, that increases your risk of coronary artery disease and heart attack. So the intention is, if you take a statin or cholesterol lowering medication, that will lower your cholesterol and lower your risk of death from heart attack and stroke.
Right. And so there is data which examines how the effect of these statin medications on people who have never experienced a heart attack or a stroke before. And that really is the makeup primarily of the people who are consuming this medication. What it shows is that it does lower your cholesterol. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't really reduce your risk at all, almost, of having a heart attack or a stroke by virtue of making that change. In fact, if you take this drug as you're supposed to, which is daily, and you take it for 5 years, only at that 5-year mark will it actually reduce your chances of having a heart attack by 1.6%, which is nothing, right? Or 0.37%, it reduces your chance of having a stroke. Really, again, that's nothing over a 5-year span of taking a pill every single day.
Those are not numbers in the favor of the patient.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
so number needed to treat. The number needed to treat is 1 in 104 for a heart attack, and for stroke, it's 1 in 154.
And for number needed to harm, is 1 in 50 people are harmed typically by developing diabetes, and 1 in only 10 people are harmed by developing damage to their muscles.
Right. I want to say hi to Colin. I want to say hi to Joan. Dr. Matthew Russell's watching. How's it going? Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is it my turn?
Yeah, I was just talking about the number needed to harm for people is 1 in 10 to have damage to their muscles, which is a pretty wild number.
Did you mention diabetes?
Yes, it did.
So diabetes, here's the irony, okay? So one of the potential side effects is diabetes. Diabetes is a life-altering condition, but the irony is that it's a precursor to heart disease. So you're taking a drug trying to prevent something, which actually the side effect of it may lead you down the path to that exact same condition.
Nope.
It's kind of sad. So here's another example. There are many people out there who are taking aspirin on a daily basis as instructed by their medical doctor with the hopes of, again, preventing a heart disease, a heart attack. But the evidence, the research does not support this claim.
No, because the number needed to treat is only 1 person preventing cardiovascular disease out of 1,667 people taking the medication.
Yeah.
So 1,667 people taking aspirin on a daily basis for an entire year will prevent 1 person from having their first heart attack or stroke. Let me make this more clear. In other words, 1,666 people are taking aspirin on a daily basis for an entire year and getting nothing out of it, no results.
Zero benefit.
Yeah.
1,667 people taking aspirin on a daily basis. Multiply that by 365. You guys do the math. All I know is aspirin's doing. Aspirin business is doing really well.
They're doing really well. But number needed to treat: 1 in 2,000 people taking aspirin every single day. That will prevent a fatal heart attack. And 1 in 3,000 people taking aspirin on a daily basis over a year, that's going to prevent 1 person from having a fatal stroke.
And the main side effect?
Internal bleeding. For people taking aspirin on a daily basis, that is a very common side effect, something that's serious.
Very serious. Internal bleeding, of course. So listen, I hope you find this video helpful. I hope you find all this information helpful. If you do plan on taking a medication, these are 2 things you need to consider. So use this information to make the best healthcare choice for yourself. Please like the video, comment, ask your questions in the comment box below. We'll definitely get to it. I mean, that's how we generate a lot of the topics that we discuss on these videos. And share this video. Share it with people that you know need to learn this information.
That's really important. You are 1 step closer.